Aviation video. Today I'm doing here after receiving many messages on my email and social media, Twitter and Facebook, and also on the comments of the videos of the channel. Not only the video I posted yesterday, but many others. So I've just decided to do this video about the accident in Colombia, and it's just, we all know the speculating in aviation is so bad. So I'm not gonna speculate with anything. I'm just gonna give my point of view from the aviation side, and kind of trying to explain how I see the accident, and if any of you guys see it the same way that I do. First of all, my deepest condolences to the families of the victims. I'm gonna do this video from my very deepest respect to them and to the victims. So this is for them, and everything is given and from the aviation side of this. Something I have to say also, and this gets me and makes me so angry, and at least in the Spanish news, maybe you know, guys, that I live in Spain. In Spanish, in the news of Spain, this is being actually told. This action is being told because a football team was on board, and they say an aircraft with a football team crashed in Colombia, and that is partially true and correct, but there were not only football team on board that aircraft, and that is exactly what gets me angry. We have pilots with their respective families, and we have flight attendants with their families, and we have journalists with their families. So please, news, have a little bit of respect for those others, not only the players of that football team. So there are more people in the aircraft, and not only the players. So just talk about this accident as another one. I mean, not only talking about this accident because a football team is in the aircraft and some famous people and players were inside the aircraft. So that being said, it's getting me super mad in Spain right now. And that being said, I'm gonna show you. You can see my screen right now. Here you can see the aircraft path from Bolivia to Medellin, Colombia. Actually, I'm gonna read the first reports. This is from a website that I like a lot. It's the Aviation Herald, and it says Lamia Avro RJ85 performing flight from Santa Cruz to Medellin with 68 passengers and 9 crew. This is highlighted in yellow because it was firstly thought that 81 people were on board, and actually it's not true. There were 77 people on board. So the aircraft was descending towards Medellin, about 15 to 20 miles southeast of Medellin, in the area of La Ceja at 21:56 local time. It is about 0256 Zulu time, when the aircraft disappeared from radar screens. The airport of Medellin reported a search was initiated, and the crash site has been located in the municipality of La Ceja at slopes of Cerro Gordo. Approximate coordinates, whatever. There may be survivors. Actually, authorities confirmed 6 survivors, 3 players, 2 flight attendants, and 1 journalist, and 71 fatalities. That's about the people on board and how the aircraft actually. And then we have, in a press release, the airport of Medellin reported further that the aircraft had declared emergency with Medellin's control tower at 22 local time, reporting electrical problems. So they actually declared emergency at 22 local time, and they reported electrical problems. And the first thing I thought of when I saw the accident and I saw the aircraft, it was about an RJ85. There's a very small aircraft doing a flight this long. It's so I just went through the RJ85 performances and specifications, and I came to that the maximum range and autonomy for this aircraft is about 1,700 nautical miles. That's okay. So I just went through a website to search for the distance between Santa Cruz and Medellin airport, and the distance between these two airports is 1,600 miles. Having that aircraft 1,700 miles of maximum range of flight. That's actually pretty close, so the first thing that came to my mind was about the fuel. Maybe low fuel, maybe I don't know, running out of fuel, reaching the destination. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Then I went through the path. This is the path that the aircraft did at flight level 280 and flight level 300 later on. And arriving to the airport, the aircraft started to hold, and this actually crashed in my mind. And I said, why, if maybe the aircraft had problems with the fuel, obviously, if the maximum range is 1,700 and the flight itself is 1,600 nautical miles long, why did the aircraft hold? So I started to search a bit more, and then actually a few hours ago I discovered, and it says here also, here it is, I discovered that another aircraft was also in emergency at the very same time. So we have here that a Viva Colombia Airbus A320 performing flight from Bogota to San Andres Island was en route at flight level 360 about 150 miles northwest of Medellin at 0211 Zulu time when the crew initiated a diversion to Medellin, turned around and descended to flight level 160 on the way to Medellin. The aircraft reached the final approach phase. I will show the charts later for the approach to runway 01 at 0245 and touched down safely at 0251 Zulu time. This is something really and super important and super interesting actually. We have two aircraft in emergency at the very same time. We have the RJ85 that finally crashed, and we have an Airbus A320 on cruise, returning and also declaring an emergency. And here it's not said what the emergency of the A320 was, but I searched a bit and I read that the Airbus A320 was having kind of a leaking fuel problems. So we have two severe emergencies here. An A320 leaking fuel, and an RJ85 also, they reported electrical problems, but maybe also with fuel problems. So this is so important, and we can see here, we have, this is the path of the Airbus A320 departing Bogota here and going up on cruise, passing Medellin, and northwest of Medellin they reported the emergency approximately over here. So they turn around, made an U-turn, and come back to Medellin and land in Medellin. Now, the interesting thing, and we can see here the charts. Here's the chart of the approach ILS runway 01. That the RJ85 was about making holding patterns here of the VOR of Romeo November Golf, shown over here. And we can see also in the path that there are flight level 230, 23,000 feet, and descending inside the hull. Firstly at flight level 210, and later on to flight level 150, and the aircraft disappeared. If we go to the map, we can see that the RJ85 is making holdings just over the something like Campo Alegre, Avejoral, El Algodón, El Limón, villages or cities. And we can see here that the Airbus A320 is coming from the west. So let's fix the times. For example, here we have time 0240 UTC. So now let's go in here, RJ85, and go to the 0240 time. Okay, about over here, 0239. Okay. So while the Airbus A320 is coming for the approach at 0240 UTC from the west, the RJ85 is coming from the south, pretty much higher than the Airbus A320 is. So the logical thing is that the air traffic controllers gave priority to this aircraft A320 come in here and do the approach. While the Airbus A320 did the approach, the RJ85 was instructed to hold. That makes sense. So let's go a little bit farther. For example, 0245, and the RJ85 has already entered the holding over the VOR. And the Airbus A320 at 0245, there we go, is starting the left turn to line up on the runway and land. The altitude of the Airbus A320 is 11,600 feet, and the RJ85 is at flight level 210, and they both are approximately over the same place. We can see that the RJ85 at this time, 0245 Zulu time, is on the holding just over about Avejoral. This is the city over the RJ85 is holding at. And we have the Airbus 320 just a little bit to the north of Avejoral. So the Airbus 320 was supposed to be the first traffic to land, and then the RJ85, apparently. And later on, we have here at 0250 Zulu time, then the Airbus A320 is on final approach, just about to touch down, and the RJ85 is making another holding at flight level 210. So we have now here something really interesting, and maybe the most important point in this accident, and this is that we have two emergencies at once. So as always in aviation, an accident doesn't happen because of one thing. We have many things behind and on the background that we have to look at to determine causes of the accident. So we have now an RJ85 coming from the south on a very long flight, instructed to hold because another aircraft having fuel problems as well and in emergency is coming to the airport, apparently logically being first for the approach because of the altitude and because of the position in referred to the airport. So the RJ85 was instructed to hold. So it's very complicated, and it's actually very interesting, everything being said from the aviation side. That's my point right now. One of them, it's the fuel consumption of the RJ85 having a maximum range of 1,700 nautical miles on a flight that is 1,600 nautical miles long. Then we have another aircraft also in emergency that is as well requesting some priority maybe to land. Then the RJ85 reported emergency due to an electrical problem. This electrical problem may have been produced due to some engine failure, and this engine failure may have been produced because of low fuel. So that's right now what I think. It's 30th of November right now, And this is what I think of. So we have a very complicated situation with two emergencies at the very same time. The air traffic controller has to give priority to one of them, and the thing here may have been, at least how I can see it right now, obviously super easy after the accident and after all this thing, but very difficult at the same moment, at the exact moment it's happening. And it's examining and evaluating both problems, the Airbus A320 problem and then the RJ85 problem, examining those two problems, which of them is most serious, the most serious one, and which of those two aircraft should be given the most highest priority. That's how I see it, and that's from my very objective and my opinion, maybe absolutely wrong later when the investigators, the professionals, say the actual cause of this crash may be absolutely and completely wrong what I am saying, but this is my point of view right now, 2 days after the crash. This is what I think. Again, my deepest condolences to the families. This is everything I can give to you guys. So we have an RJ85 coming from the south reporting electrical problems, an Airbus A320 coming from the west reporting fuel leak, and it's difficult. So let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about this accident. Also, please, as always, and I know you guys do, with the most respectful way that you can, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you have any more information. Maybe I can upload and update this video with more information, more official information, and maybe we all can cooperate a bit and can give our own opinions and learn something. That's the very only purpose of this channel. My condolences to the family, and it's difficult to make this video, so see you guys on the next one.